All right. This is January 4th. It's my first motivational message of the new year, 2016. And so I thought I'd go back to a motivational message I shared with my students at the very beginning of the year. And what I did was I shared with them a proverb from King Solomon. It goes, "The end of a thing is better than the beginning." And I'm sure on December 31st there were a lot of people out there celebrating the new year and all excited about the new start and the fresh start and the new beginnings and things like that. But I think as many people were celebrating the new year, what they really were celebrating is putting things behind them. Oftentimes when you think about a fresh start, what you're really thinking about is setting the past aside so that you can start over again. And so the New Year's celebration is much more than just celebrating a new start, as it is setting aside the past and all the problems that were in the past that you may have experienced in 2015. And so that goes to say that the end of a thing is better than the beginning, meaning that when you get to the end, all the work is over. All the hard times are done. Whereas when you get to the beginning, all the work is still in front of you. So for all of you celebrating 2016, just want you to realize that there are now 364 days of work in front of you to get to December 31st. There's a lot of things ahead of us in 2016 that we just don't know that we're going to face, and a lot of difficulties, a lot of issues, a lot of problems, a lot of obstacles. There's a lot of work to be done. For some of us, it's finishing up another school year. For some of us, it's continuing another year of employment at the job that we're at. For some of us, it might be a birth of a new child, a marriage and starting a new family. There's a lot of things in front of us, and the beginnings are always exciting because everything's new and fresh, but then you settle into the work and you realize that there's a lot to be done. But the one thing that I really wanted to focus on here is another quote, not just the end of a thing is better than the beginning, but another quote by Nike is, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And so a lot of people may get off to a rough start in 2016. A lot of people may get off to a rough start at the beginning of school. But it's not so much how you start. We can all get off to a rough start, and there's a variety of reasons for a difficult start. But it's really how you finish. This past weekend, I was watching the bowl game between Oregon and Texas Christian, and I, like many of you, probably turned the channel before halftime or at halftime when it was 31-0 Oregon. Now, I don't know exactly what happened in the locker room with Texas Christian, but I am assuming that this is not what happened in the locker room. I'm assuming that TCU went into the locker room and didn't say, "All right, guys, let's just do our best to get out of this one and move on. This is not what we wanted or expected, and let's just make sure we get by here and just not embarrass ourselves anymore." I honestly don't think that's what they said. They probably went in there saying, "Hey guys, what are we playing for? What is it that we're here to accomplish? What are our goals?" They probably did a little self-evaluation. They probably talked a little bit about pride and ending and finishing well. And I turned back to that game, probably like many people turned back to that game, and surprisingly found them only down by a score and then tied and then into triple overtime and winning that game, which was pretty amazing. And so what I would like to do is I'd like to encourage you as well. You may get off to a rough start. You may not get off to the start that you want. But it's not how you start, it's going to be how you finish. And how you finish says a lot about you as a person. How you finish says a lot about your character and the fact that, are you willing to persevere? Are you willing to persist? Are you willing to continue on when times get difficult? Or are you a quitter? Are you lazy? Are you someone who just wants to get by? Someone who just wants to just let it happen, kind of roll with it, and be done? I trust that as you think about 2016, you think about the year ahead, as you think about what you have left to accomplish, that you'll think, okay, the end of a thing is better than the beginning. When I get to December 31st, I want to be able to celebrate the year. I want to celebrate the year because of all that I was able to accomplish, but at the same time, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and even though you get off to a rough start, be committed to finishing well. Be committed to persevering and persisting through the year so that when you do get to December 31st, you can rejoice, not that it's all over, but you can rejoice in what you were able to accomplish. I trust this was beneficial to you. Don't forget to check out my channel and subscribe. Don't forget to like this or share it. Pass it on to somebody else who may benefit from it. And I trust you all have a good and happy new year.